There are mysteries in this world that don't fade with time. They whisper to us through shadows, unanswered questions, and eerie footage that feels too real to forget. This is one of them. Welcome to Noctalia Stories. Tonight, we unravel the chilling case of a young woman whose final moments were captured on camera, and yet nothing about what we saw makes any sense. This is the mystery of Elisa Lam. She was only 21. Elisa Lam was a student from Vancouver, Canada. Thoughtful, intelligent, a dreamer with a deep love for books, photography, and blogging. In January 2013, she set off on a solo trip along the California coast. It was meant to be an adventure, a break from school, and from the storm of thoughts that often clouded her mind. Her journey led her to downtown Los Angeles, to a building that stands tall and old on Main Street, the Cecil Hotel. Elisa checked in on January 28th. Just 4 days later, she disappeared. No one saw her leave. No one heard a thing. She simply vanished. As days passed, worry grew. The LAPD launched an investigation, posted flyers, interviewed guests, searched the hotel floor by floor. Then, on February 19th, over 2 weeks later, hotel maintenance workers climbed to the roof. Guests had been complaining about low water pressure, strange tastes, even the color. What they found was horrifying. Inside one of the rooftop water tanks, sealed, heavy, rarely opened, floated the lifeless body of Elisa Lam. Naked. Alone. Silent. But that wasn't the most disturbing part. Days before they found her, police had released footage from the hotel's surveillance system. It showed Elisa inside an elevator, in what would be her final known moments. She steps inside and presses multiple buttons, almost at random. The elevator doesn't move. She peeks out as if someone is following her, then retreats. She hides in the corner, steps out again, waves her hands in strange, almost hypnotic patterns. Then, she's gone. The elevator doors remain open far too long, unnaturally long, then slowly shut, with no one inside. And no one ever comes in. The internet erupted. Millions watched the footage. People analyzed her body language, slowed down the frames, measured every second. Was she hallucinating? Was someone just out of frame, threatening her? Was she playing the so-called elevator game, an urban legend that supposedly transports players to another dimension if they press a specific sequence of buttons? But none of the theories added up. The water tank's lid was heavy, far too difficult to close from the inside. Yet it was found shut. The roof required a key, and tripping the alarm should have notified staff, but there was no alarm. No signs of forced entry. Her phone was never found. Her clothes were floating nearby, but no explanation was ever given for why she was undressed. The toxicology report? Inconclusive. Some say the security footage was tampered with, missing timestamps, skipped seconds, moments erased. Why? And then, there's the hotel itself. The Cecil Hotel is no ordinary place. It stands like a monument to the forgotten. A crumbling 14-story relic, nestled in downtown Los Angeles, between poverty and dreams, between Skid Row and the stars. But behind its towering walls lies a history so dark, so stained, it almost feels alive. Over the decades, the Cecil has been linked to dozens of deaths, from suicides and overdoses to murders and disappearances. It's earned nicknames like Hotel Death and the Suicide Hotel. In the 1980s, the infamous Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, called the Cecil home during his reign of terror. He would return from his nightly killings, covered in blood, slipping past the indifferent staff unnoticed, disappearing into the shadows of room 1402. Later, in the 1990s, Jack Unterweger, an Austrian journalist turned serial killer, checked in while on assignment, and continued his gruesome spree from inside the very same building. But it's not just killers. Guests have leapt from windows to their deaths, often landing on pedestrians below. Some were never identified. Others were found in bathtubs, closets, or not at all. One woman threw her newborn baby out of a window on the 7th floor. Another was discovered dead in her room, weeks after she'd passed, only found because of the smell. There are reports of ghosts, whispers in the hallways, and phones that ring with no one on the other end. And year after year, the stories kept piling up. If walls could speak, the Cecils would scream. It isn't just a hotel. It's a magnet for tragedy, for darkness, for the lost. A place where reality feels thinner, where logic unravels. A place where stories don't just end. They get buried. So what really happened to Elisa Lam? Was it a tragic accident, the final chapter in a long struggle with mental illness, misunderstood and left unchecked in a city that moves too fast to notice a girl unraveling? Or was it something more deliberate? A calculated act of violence, hidden beneath the crumbling walls of a hotel that has swallowed the truth before? Was there someone else on that rooftop? Watching, waiting, helping, then hiding? Or perhaps, just perhaps, it was something darker. Something that has no name. A presence bound to that place, feeding on fear, on chaos, on stories like Elisa's. A force that whispers through the halls, that draws the vulnerable in, then closes the door behind them. Something not of this world, pulling the strings that night, unseen, unheard, yet felt. We may never know the truth. The official reports offer answers that don't quite fit the evidence. The footage raises more questions than it solves. And those who were there stay silent. But here's what we do know: some mysteries never fade. They echo. They haunt. They demand to be remembered. Especially the ones caught on tape. This was Noctalia Stories. And if you're still watching, then maybe, just maybe, you're ready for what comes next. This was Noctalia Stories. If this tale sent chills down your spine, hit like, share your theory in the comments, and most importantly, subscribe. Because the night is long, and we have many more stories to tell.